Alrighty, good day everybody. Today is our second day playing Conan in the Age of War, and I thought that for today's episode we go around the map and hunt some bosses, and we try and get ourselves some of the best legendary weapons for PvP. I do gotta say I've been really looking forward to recording this episode since it was first announced that in the Age of War, legendary weapons were going to become the best and strongest weapons in the game. As many of you know, before the Age of War, legendary weapons weren't really that good, but now that all weapons have been reclassified and legendary weapons have been made the absolute best, we now have a very strong incentive to go out and hunt some bosses for some legendaries. So like I said, I'm pretty excited to test our luck today and to see what kind of legendaries we do end up getting. I know that when it comes to those legendary chests, there are 47 possible weapons with an equal chance of obtaining any of those weapons, and I think those odds is what makes hunting for legendaries a fun experience, just getting a chance to test our luck and to see what random weapon we get. I've already gone ahead and planned out a nice little boss route for us to do today. We'll start with the Crocodile boss down here by Noob River, and we're just gonna make our way around some of these bosses in this middle desert area. I think that out of all the possible weapons out there, I'd be the happiest if we could get some kind of legendary spear, because the spear has always been one of my favorite weapons. But considering there are 47 possible weapons, I don't really expect to get the weapon that I want since the chances aren't that good. So I'm just going into this with no expectations, just curious to test my luck and see what I get. Alrighty, and here we are at the first boss location, and just in case you want to follow along, here is the map location for this first boss. This first boss is probably the easiest one you can fight in the game. You can even just bleed it out using stone daggers at a low level. There we go, super easy. I think now that legendaries are the best weapons in the game, I'll probably come here first when I start fresh on a new server and just get myself a decent weapon right off the bat. It took me a second to find the chest, but here it is right behind this rock, and we fought the boss right over there. Alright, so here we go. We're going to open our first legendary chest in the Age of War. Here we go, let's see what we get. And our first legendary will be the Daggers of the Nameless Days. This one does 46 in damage and 18% armor pen without a master weapon fitting, which isn't too bad considering the damage on daggers have been nerfed. The only downside is that it doesn't look like it cripples you, but still sounds pretty decent. I'm sure we'll put these to good use if we're ever running an agility build during a raid. Alrighty, now we are going to be moving on to the second boss in our to-do list, which is located right over here. And if you're following alongside, we're just going to be going up this river, and we should be there in about a minute or two. Okay, here we are at the second boss location, and here is the map one more time just in case. This next boss will be inside this cave, and we'll take this opportunity to level up our thrall by clearing all of the little spiders. Okay, that should be the last one. Now we're gonna go and take on the boss right over there. This one is a spider boss. I say this is another fairly easy boss that you can kill just by bleeding it out with stone daggers. I think I'd probably stop by here as well in early game just to get a second legendary. There we go, another boss down. And check this out, this boss actually gives us some legendary throwing knives, a little bonus. Let's go ahead and get our key now. Now let's see what legendary weapon we get this time. Oh, it's not opening. I'm clicking the chest multiple times, but it's not opening. Been trying to get this to open, but it's just not working. So either someone already opened this and you do have to wait about 30 minutes for the legendaries to respawn, or this chest just happens to be bugged on this server. So we're just gonna have to move on for now. We're gonna move on to the next location, and then maybe later on we'll come back and check and see if we can open it. Now the next boss location will be right over here, just around the corner from this boss that we just fought. So these are all very conveniently close to each other. And here it is. This next one is a scorpion boss, and it's another super easy boss that you can fight in early game just with some stone daggers. There we go. Let's go ahead and farm it now and get our legendary. The chest should be right over here, right next to it. Here it is. Let's go ahead and open it and see what we get for our second chest. Check this out. This time we managed to get ourselves the Impaler, which is probably top 3 best legendary strength spear. Now, if we apply a master weapon fitting on it, its damage is increased to 65 with 21 armor pen, and this makes it the second best legendary strength spear in the Exiled Lands. I think the only downside to this spear though is its durability, which is really low compared to other legendaries. I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but with its current durability, it's not going to last you very long, unfortunately. Now, despite its awful durability, I'm still pretty happy about scoring our first legendary spear. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and save this spear for the future and hope that the devs will increase the durability maybe in a future update. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and continue testing our luck and move on to the fourth and final boss of this quick little boss route that I've planned for us today. Alrighty, and here we are, and this is the map location for those that are interested. Now this next boss is yet another spider boss. It's another fairly easy boss that I would probably consider doing an early game just to stack up some legendary weapons to help me with my journey. There we go, the final boss of this route is down. Now we'll get our key. Now we'll test our luck and see what we get. Here we go. Oh, not opening either, just like the one before. So I'm having the same issue as the previous spider boss. The chest is not opening. I'm really hoping it's not bugged, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wait maybe 5-10 minutes and see if then it opens. Nice, it actually worked. So ended up waiting a couple extra minutes, and now the chest worked. So I'm guessing someone had just previously opened it and we just had to wait for the weapon to respawn. But yeah, check this out. This round we didn't get so lucky. We ended up getting possibly the worst thing you can get from one of these legendary chests in terms of PvP. We got a shield that we'll probably never ever use. So it takes 30 minutes for legendary weapons to respawn inside a chest. So now I want to go back to that spider cave where we couldn't open the chest at first and see if we can open it now that it's been more than 30 minutes. We're also going to be passing by the scorpion chest, which we looted about maybe 15-20 minutes ago, and we're gonna run a little experiment and see if we can open it before that 30-minute mark. Yeah, so it hasn't been 30 minutes, so we can't open it yet. So on your server, if you find a chest and you're not able to open it, chances are that someone may have already looted it, and you're gonna have to wait a couple minutes until it reaches that 30-minute mark. Here we are. Let's go ahead and speedrun our way through this cave. Nice, we got 2 keys. Now let's see if we can finally loot this chest. It's been more than 30 minutes since we were last here. Man, that is so weird. We still can't open it. It's been more than 30 minutes, like I said, and I don't think anyone's been here in that time period, considering the boss was still here. I really feel like the chest here is just bugged. I don't think there's any way to open it. Maybe during a server restart they'll fix it, but we'll just have to come back and do a bit more testing. Alrighty, so as it turns out, now we have 2 spare keys, and I still feel the urge to hunt for some more legendaries. So we are going to diverge from our boss route and go hunt some other random bosses. So check it out, the next boss location was supposed to be here, but due to this land claim here, the boss isn't able to spawn in. So if you are on a PvP server or even a PvE server, this might be something that you'll deal with. Sometimes players will build at points of interest and you won't have access to whatever is supposed to be there. But thankfully for us, the chest is still here and it wasn't despawned due to the land claim, and we also have 2 spare keys to be able to open it. Let's go ahead and pop this chest open and see what we get from this one. So from this chest we got the Forge Light, and I believe this is one of the best legendary two-handed hammers in the Exiled Lands. It's not the best, maybe it could be considered second best. I think right now the best one is Hanuman's Gada, which does 101 in damage with a master weapon fitting upgrade. So not a terrible draw from that chest. Second best is still pretty good, and if you wanted to come here for this chest, here is the map location. The next boss that we're going to do is literally right next to the boss that we just did. It's going to be located in this spider cave that we're approaching. Now before we go in, I'm going to give my thrall the Forge Light, and since thralls don't lose durability on weapons or armor, I'm still going to be able to upgrade this weapon later on. Okay, now we're good to go. Let's go ahead and speedrun our way through this cave. There's the boss down there, and this boss actually has 2 entrances. The first one is the one that we are in right now, right over here, and the second one is right here. Now if you come in through this cave that we're in right now, there is no direct route to the boss, so we just have to jump down, and since none of these walls are climbable, you do want to be careful going down. There we go. Now we can go and fight the boss here. This is another spider boss. There we have it. Let's go ahead and get our key. And now we'll look for the chest. I'm not too sure where it's located here. So I ended up having to look online to see where the chest is located, and apparently it's supposed to be here right next to this little chest, but it's nowhere to be found, and I really don't think that someone was just here farming this cave. It is pretty late right now and the server doesn't have too many players online right now, and when I got here all of the monsters were still alive, so my conclusion is that maybe it's just another bug chest. Anyway, now we have 3 spare keys and I'm still hungry for some more legendaries, so we're going to go hunt yet another boss that's not too far from here at the oasis. Here it is. This next boss is a super tanky rhino that's not too difficult to defeat. There we go, we took it down. Now let's see what we get from this chest. So from this chest we picked up the Watch Blade, and when we compare it to other legendary great swords, there's just many others that are way better, like the Sword of Crom or the Annihilator. It's still a really good sword, but there's just quite a few others that are way better if you're looking for a great sword. I'm not sure how many bosses we've taken out so far, but I do gotta say that hunting for legendaries is pretty addicting, so I think we're gonna do a few more bosses and keep testing our luck a little more. This next boss is located right over here, and it's just one of the many Giant Crocodile bosses in the Exiled Lands. Let's see if we can get another legendary spear. Nope, not a spear. Instead, we got the battle axe of the berserkers, and just like the watch blade that we got before, there's plenty of other better axes out there that you can get, like the axe of the lion, glimmer moon, and a few others. Now this next boss that we're about to fight is a special one, because back in the day when I first started playing Conan in 2019, I used to hate passing by this area because the tiger boss that we're about to fight, it used to be so strong and it would always beat me up whenever I would pass by here. But thankfully we're a little better at the game now and we can take our vengeance upon it for always beating us up back in the day. There we go. I think the score is settled between us. Actually, looks like the tiger still wins because I cannot open this chest. So I think that's the 4th chest that we haven't been able to open today. We have been pretty unlucky with that, but I'm not gonna give up. We're going for one more boss. This next one is located right over here, and again, it's another Giant Crocodile boss. Oh my goodness, we are just striking out bad tonight with these chests. Another chest that we're not able to open. I have no idea what's going on. Like I said earlier, it's pretty late and there aren't that many players online, and I really don't think anyone's been here in the last 30 minutes. So I think we're just getting a lot of bugged out chests, unfortunately. So I think now to finish off the night, I'm going to head back to our original boss route, and I'm going to quickly use up some of these spare keys that we haven't been able to use today. And then tomorrow we're going to continue our search for legendaries, but we're going to be taking a different approach to getting them. Alrighty, let's just go ahead and quickly grab this chest. And check it out, of course, we end up grabbing a second battle axe of the Berserker. Alright, we're gonna go and test our luck one more time tonight. I'm hoping this final one will be something good. Here we go, let's see what we get. And for the final chest of the night, we get the strangely familiar axe, which has a pretty cool sounding name, but it's just another mid-tier legendary axe. So I think that's going to be it for me tonight. I'm gonna go to sleep and recharge my luck, and then tomorrow we'll be back to hunting for some more legendaries. I'll see you guys then. Alrighty, good morning everybody. It is now the next day, and like I said last night, today we're going to continue our hunt for legendary weapons, but we're going to be doing things a little bit differently today. So yesterday we were out hunting bosses and farming them for a skeleton key, which we would then use to open up legendary chests. And these legendary chests have 47 possible weapons that you can draw, and these make the chances of getting a specific weapon that you want very low. So today, instead of hunting for some legendary chests, we are going to go out and fight some dungeon bosses instead. And what makes these dungeon bosses a little bit differently is that they actually drop their own unique legendary weapons. So the first boss that we are going to fight today is the final boss at the Wine Cellar dungeon, and this boss has the potential to drop 3 legendary weapons, and one of them happens to be the only legendary Great Axe in the Exiled Lands. As many of you know, the Great Axe happens to be my second favorite weapon in the game, so I'm pretty excited to test my luck with this boss. I know there is only a 12% chance that this boss will drop this weapon, and while the chances aren't that high, they're still slightly better than legendary chests. Alrighty, here we are at the entrance to the Wine Cellar dungeon, and here's the map location if you're interested in doing this dungeon yourself. So here we go, not sure what to expect in here because I've never done this dungeon before, but we'll figure it out together. Alright, and we're in. And it is super dark in here. Was not expecting that. Guess we'll start by taking out this drunk guy. It is pretty dark in here, so you might want to bring a torch. Thankfully, while we did forget to bring a torch, our thrall does have a glowing weapon. Wow, check it out. What a crazy change in scenery. You really wouldn't expect this massive dungeon to be in this building we just got in. That's pretty cool. These thralls actually dropped the new repair kits that come with the Age of War. Now we're going a little bit deeper into the dungeon and things are starting to change. I really had no idea that the Wine Cellar dungeon was going to be so spooky down here. I was more expecting it to be like some sort of beautiful garden type of dungeon, not these devastated ruins. We're gonna need to be real cautious because our thrall is already halfway dead this early on. Instead of it protect us, we're the ones that are gonna need to protect it. Just gonna wait a couple minutes for it to get its HP back. Alrighty, and it looks like we're good to go. Let's keep moving. Here we have our first one skull boss. Let's go ahead and fight it. Oh, that's pretty nice. These monsters actually drop the fragments of power too. There's a super high chance that our thrall is not gonna make it out of this dungeon. It's already been so close to dying twice already. Hoping that it at least makes it to level 10 so that it can at least get a perk that will help it survive. We're just gonna turn this segment of the episode into a challenge. Keep your thrall alive challenge. Looks like we got another mini boss. Let's go ahead and take it down. There we go. And we get another fragment of power, which I'll really need once I start learning magic. More fragments here. Dang, you really get a lot of these here. This is a good place to farm these. Might actually be better than the unnamed city, because I hate having to look for those chests that give out the fragments. Well, I am officially lost now. This place is kind of like a maze. Found another mini boss. I think we're on the right track once again. Yep, definitely come to the Wine Cellar dungeon if you need fragments of power. Now this doesn't look like the right way. But we did find another mini boss, so we should be in the right area. There we go. And another fragment of power. And our thrall has officially reached level 10, and it learned the Strong Arms perk, which gives it 3 points in strength. I don't normally use thralls, but that sounds pretty good because it is going to hit a little bit harder now. Alright, left or right? Let's see. Well, right it is. Looks like the right place to go. So from what it looks like, I think we're approaching the final boss. These giant gates really gives me the vibe that I shouldn't go in there because I'll probably get locked in. I'll go ahead and check upstairs first before we get locked in there. I do gotta say I've enjoyed my time in this dungeon. Now that I've actually done it, it's probably one of my favorite ones in the Exiled Land. Looks like we don't have much of a choice. We're gonna have to go in here. Is this like some kind of puzzle here? Nope, you just gotta turn them all on. Here we go, whatever is about to happen. There he is. That's the final boss. So far, boss is pretty easy, pretty tanky, but its movements are pretty easy to dodge so far. This boss is an absolute tank. Not sure how many times I've hit it, but it's barely made a dent. I think our thrall has had enough. We're gonna pull it to the side because this is looking like a really long battle, and I don't think there's a chance he'll make it the entire fight. Okay, looks like we're moving on to the next phase, and it's not looking too good for our thrall. I was really not expecting any of that. This boss really stepped it up with this next phase. I bet once these monsters go active, it's gonna be absolute madness. Here it comes. It's time for some chaos. This is crazy. Yep, this is the new meta in combat now. All you gotta do now to defeat anything is just spam roll and attack. That's it. Alright, here we go. This might be the final phase. We gotta take him out as soon as possible. There we go. At last, we have completed the Keep Your Thrall Alive challenge. And it looks like this time we did not get any legendary drops. All we got is a recipe for some armor. So yeah, no legendary great axe for us today, but that's just how it's going to be like hunting for the best weapons in the game. You're not always going to get what you're looking for, and you're just gonna have to keep on trying until you finally do. Now, despite not getting lucky with the legendary weapon we were looking for, I did have a really good time running this dungeon for the first time. I would even say it's probably one of my favorite ones now that I've gotten the chance to complete it. And now that I know what to expect, I think I can definitely clean up that final boss fight. I think having to worry about my thrall just made things be a bit more messy than they needed to be. So next time I come back, I'm definitely coming alone, since honestly thralls just kind of get in the way of things most of the time, which is why 98% of the time I'll almost never use one. Alrighty, so now I think we'll do one more dungeon to end our hunt for legendaries, and we're gonna try and get ourselves the best legendary strength spear in the Exiled Lands. If you're interested in getting this weapon yourself, here's the map location. We are at the Warmaker's dungeon. This dungeon has quite a few bosses that drop some really good legendary weapons, but today we're only going after the boss that drops the spear. So to get to this boss that drops the legendary spear, you'll need to go through this first door at the very end of this hallway, and this door will lead you to a room with 3 boss rooms. Now the boss that we're looking for will be inside this green door. Here you'll want to take out all the enemy skeletons just so that they don't get in the way of the boss battle. Once you have cleared your way, you'll be ready to fight the boss in this next room. So for this boss, your chances of getting this spear are actually pretty good. This boss will always drop a legendary weapon, and it has the potential to drop 4 different weapons, and one of them is the spear. So your chances of getting this spear are 25%, which isn't too bad. There we go. Now let's see what we get. Check it out. So on our first attempt, we actually got the weapon that we were looking for. This right here is the Mordlun, and is considered to be the best legendary strength spear on this map. So as you just saw, the chances of getting the Mordlun are pretty decent, and if you don't get lucky on your first try, you can just chill in that room and farm the boss over and over until you finally get the spear. Now before we head back to base and have a final look at all the legendaries we have collected over the last 2 days, I want to test my luck one final time with a legendary chest and see what I get. Our final boss for this playthrough will be this Reaper, and you can find it right over here in the map. I'm still feeling pretty lucky from earlier when we picked up the Mordlun, so I want to make sure we use up all of our luck today before we end this episode. Alright, here we go. Let's see what we get from our final chest. So check this out. We just got ourselves the Rusty Pike, which I believe this is considered to be the 2nd or 3rd best legendary strength spear on this map. I think at this point I'm pretty happy with the weapons that we have picked up. So let's head back to home base now and get some of these weapons upgraded and have a look at them. Alrighty, and we're back at home base, and I actually couldn't help myself and I went out one more time to farm a few more legendary chests because I was still feeling lucky from earlier today, but I think we used up all of our luck getting the Mordlun and the Rusty Pike because I didn't get anything good after that. But anyway, here we are now, and I went ahead and organized all of the legendary weapons that we picked up over the last 2 days. And while looking through all of them, I would say the best ones that we got are the 3 strength spears. It's pretty crazy that we actually managed to get lucky enough to pick up all 3 of these. I think now all that we're missing in terms of spears are the Black Dragon Pike and the Vaulting Pole, which are both considered the best agility spears at the moment. Now the last thing I'll do before we end today's episode, I'm going to fuse our legendary spears with the Kingslayer polearm so that we can extend its reach even further. There we have it. Now we got the Mordlun with some more added reach, and we'll be sure to put these weapons to good use in our next episode. So I'll see you guys then. Take care everyone.